All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Shalom to the hope and elect on the highways ahead, just pushing the truth. It's your brother Rabbi Nam coming out with another lesson. Lord's will is edifying. I was just watching the news. Somebody, two kids got killed. I don't know exactly where they were. I think they were on their way to Boston, and somehow they ended up dead on a mountain in Georgia. Okay. I'm going to get into that as a matter of fact. This is what they look like. Okay. I think that's their aunt or their mother. I don't know. Okay. Two young men look like Israelite men. It says a volunteer firefighter has been charged with obstruction, accused of taking photos of teenage twin brothers found dead with gunshot wounds on a Georgia mountain this month. Yeah, so gunshot wounds, man. Okay, you read further in the article. Esau's is one of those murder-suicides he's claiming that it is, man. So Esau probably did some type of satanic ritual. That's what he likes to do, man. He likes to offer y'all up, because according to the Bible, y'all are the lost sheep, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all are the Israelites. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, and verse 24. Actually, I started 21. Then Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai, okay, not Yeshua. I heard somebody call him Yeshua today, man. He's somewhere associated here, and I'll save you the trouble of finding out who this person is, man. Just know that it went from Yahweh Shai to Hamashiach, and now it's Yeshua. He's a friend of Yeshua. Joshua, Matthew 15 and 21. When Yahweh Shai went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Zidon, and behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. And he answered her not a word. And the disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So this Canaanite woman was an Israelite. Okay. And the Lord said, I am not sent but unto the sheep of the house of Israel, man. The disciples told him to leave. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread to cast it to dogs. She said, Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master's table. And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. So he just said he only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. The scriptures say she's a Canaanite woman. On the outside that look like a heathen. But this is the Lord. He knows who we're his, man. And heathen don't have faith, man. So if you think heathen got faith, then you lack faith. If you believe that. That's why they believe in names like Yeshua. Okay, Joshua. All these names that they got. Yah. That's what we're gonna start saying soon. Yah. God, Yah. Might even grow some dreads too to match his belief. Okay, but I bring that out to show you that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, even though you're scattered throughout all the world, y'all are the Israelites. And her faith was great because she believed in Yahweh Shai. She knew that was the Lord, man. She wasn't talking to some blue-eyed, blonde-haired devil, man. Okay? Esau, come on, man. Think about it. Esau was born in the 25th chapter of Genesis, man. What about Noah? What about Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Eber? All these other people, man. We're the first, we're the original, we're the only, we're the last, man. Or you're the last, we're the first. Okay? Esau. I'm gonna go back to this article. It says Scott Curlin, 42, of Hiawassee, Georgia, was charged with misdemeanor obstruction after he was accused of taking photos of the bodies of 19-year-old twin brothers Qadar Malak Lewis and Nazar Rahim Lewis and sharing them publicly, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation announced Tuesday. Okay, so here it is. 2 teens were murdered Okay, even though Esau says, you know, whatever he says, it says suicide, murder. You know, in all actuality, it's the Lord. He wanted to play out this way. Probably gonna round somebody up with this one. But there's so many stories like this. There was a kid in Mississippi. He got his skull was sawed in half. Ain't talking about that. Limbs were missing. You know, kids in high schools with their organs missing. All under the watch of Esau Edom. How does this go on in Esau? In his fucking school systems, and you wonder why we come out here and cuss this door. Why I come out here and cuss this stuff? Because it's wicked. Okay? Filthy conversation of the wicked, man. When we hear these news articles, man, you know, it only makes you want to hasten the day that this dude is destroyed. His nobles and his high ones that are on high that they get arrested. So we can see true justice, man. Okay, now somebody's grieving over this, man. And they lack understanding. They could never understand why this is happening. We look like assholes bringing out Job 4 and 7. The Lord knows what he's doing. It says, hikers found the bodies of the teens who were from Lawrenceville at the top of Bell Mountain in Hiawassee. The morning of Saturday, March 8th. The mountain is about 90 miles from their home. So they're 90 miles away from home on top of a damn mountain. Okay. Dead. Bullets in them. And somehow, some way, this great Samaritan firefighter went up there and was lucky enough to find the bodies, and he takes pictures of them. Edomite, by the way. This is Esau. It reminds me of that same case that happened in Georgia. Y'all love, everybody want to move to Georgia, right? Same thing happened in Georgia. He was running, he was jogging, and he stopped, saw a house. It was under construction. He just peeked his head in and looked, and continued on with his run. A couple Edomites hopped in the back of the truck with shotguns, and they went and shot him down. And an Edomite was behind them recording the whole thing. Why do you think they do that? Because they always done that. When they used to hang you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, well, most of you Negroes, used to do all types of shit with your body. Send your kids over as a gift to other part of the world. And the scriptures get into all of this. You know, Lord's why I can get to some of these scriptures, but I want to read this article first. Okay? So we exposing this devil, showing you that it's the same devil, man. So-called white man, he's the same damn devil, and I'm gonna keep cussing his ass out because it makes me feel great at night, man. You know, I can fall asleep and feel good, man. Cussing this damn devil out for all the wickedness he commits, still killing you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So you gotta be in your right mind to cuss this damn devil out, man, and call him for the bullshit that he's on, man. If you ain't doing that, you're not in your right mind. You're sick. You're suffering from Stockholm syndrome, man. You still love your oppressors. And the way this world is, your cries and your tears, they fall on deaf ears because you're amongst the heathen, your enemies, man. They're not going to have any pity on you. The Lord has it that way, where the only one you can actually cry to, the only ones who actually listening to your cries is the Lord. And that's why you got to repent. And he's the only one that's going to justify, who's going to, how can I say, not justify, but comfort you. Okay? Having this understanding is going to be comforting to our spirits. And especially speaking for those people that's oppressed, or people that's just forgotten about. No one thinks about these lost tribes of Israel. Okay? Yahweh Shai, the elect of Israel, those are only people who care about these people, who don't even know who they are. Okay? Who are the only ones that are going to have a chance at salvation. Authorities have said the deaths are murder-suicide. So two teens, 19 years old, twins. It says murder-suicide, so they killed each other. Twins. This is probably the first time I ever heard twins killing each other, man. Under Esau's watch, that's how it works. Because he doesn't understand how things are created, man. He thinks that can go off on some of you. Some of y'all actually believe that shit, man. You can create that doubt. Listen, we did a thorough investigation, found that, they both shot each other shot himself or something, silly. Okay? Just like them boys in California, they were found hung in a specific part. It's like where those 4 states meet. I think it's New Mexico, Utah. I forgot. I don't know what states. They sacrificed them right in the middle of all 4 states. Hung. Oh, he did it. It's a suicide. He did it to himself. And it's all the Lord. That's why we say this thing, so you can repent, so you can be scared. The Lord will put you in a situation like that. He'll hang you in the middle of the street, and then no one to see what happened. That's the Lord, man. It's terrible. Okay? But it's good to see these things, so, hey, it gets me off my ass to go talk about it. It's better than me being shot and no one knowing about it. How do they? Authorities have said the deaths are murder-suicide. According to the preliminary investigation, however, the Lewis family was vehemently disputed that claim, saying the boys were inseparable, never got into fistfights, and were not familiar with Bell Mountain. They never even knew that mountain was there. And they were on their way here to Boston. They go down and they find a car. They got their tickets in the car, their IDs in the car, so they just left everything in the car to go climb a high mountain to get bullets put in them. I don't know, Esau. Make it make sense. All I know is as long as this devil's ruling, this is the type of shit that's going to be happening to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because you like it here. The Lord don't want you to be comfortable here. He has prophets out here telling you, arise and depart. This is not your rest, but you're comfortable. You want to sleep here. Okay? You want to kick your feet up and just worship this devil. Even though in the process of you worshiping him, you're sacrificing your kids on mountains. That's why we call you foolish, stupid, sottish, like the scriptures say. You're rebellious. Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. You're witches, you're warlocks, you're wizards, you're wicked, man. You try to shine that light, but you hate the light because you love the darkness. You like to walk about groping in noonday, thinking you know it all. You don't know nothing, man. It says, how did they end up out in the mountains? They don't hike out there. They've never been out there. Samira Warner previously told BBC. They don't know anything about Hiawassee, Georgia. They never even heard of Bell Mountain. So how did they end up right there? Okay, Bell. That's a god, man. As a matter of fact, you go in the Bell and the Dragon. Okay. Prophet Daniel blew one of them up. Okay, but you need to know this. But you lack the wisdom, so you think this is just a coincidence. Let's put in Bell, see what pops up. Look at Isaiah 46:1. It says, Bell bowed down, the bow stupid, their idols were upon the beasts, and upon the cattle your carriages were heavy loaded. They are a burden to the weary beast. Yeah, they are a burden to the weary beast because these idols were put on top of beasts. Okay, so that's weight on top of the beast because they weren't doing nothing, man. They weren't doing nothing for the people, so it was a burden to those who were holding it. Because that's what an idol needs. It needs somebody to carry it. It needs somebody to transport it. It has no power. It's showing you the hypocrisy of worshiping something that's false. But if you can believe in your mind that an idol is real, then you're just like that idol, man. You're vain. Jeremiah 50:2, declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded, her images broken in pieces. Okay? This is Babylon. And they're being broken in pieces because of this word that's coming out, showing you how these falsehoods, man. Coming out, Bell Mountain, and you're in Babylon, getting slaughtered on a mountain, not knowing you the sheep. He was a baby. He didn't know any better. He was just placed in the Nile River. There's crocodiles in the water. Anything could have destroyed him. The Lord protected him, so the Lord was dealing with him. He raised him up to be a prophet, and he delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt. Okay, so the Lord, he can do, that's what he can do with you. Power. Okay? That's what we work for. Jeremiah 51 and 44. And I will publish Bel of Babylon, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up. The nation shall not flow together any more unto him. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. The wall of Babylon shall fall, man. Just like the idols that it worships. That's the foundation of this place, man. Wickedness, idolatry, wood, stone. It's going to get burned up. Okay? Standing on Yahweh Shai, standing on truth. That's like standing on a rock. You know? A firm foundation. Your foundation is built on wood, stubble, things that can get burned up easily. That's why the Lord said in the fire. You lack knowledge, man. Dragon. And in verse number it says, then laughed Daniel and held the king that he should not go in, and said, behold, now the pavement and the mark well, whose footsteps are these? What happened was, he was confounded because Daniel was able to show the king that you've been deceived by the people around you, man. They're sneaking up a back door, and they're eating up the food and the drink offerings that you're putting in with your idols. Y'all gonna be confounded when you find out that Jesus Christ ain't gonna save you. Bel and the Dragon, verse, you know, let me start at 19. I don't want to get too much. Then laughed Daniel and held the king that he should not go in, and said, behold, now the pavement and mark well, whose footsteps are these? Because he put ash all over the ground, so when they went to Bel and the Dragon, verse 20, and the king said, I see the footsteps of men, women, and children. And then the king was angry. He took the priests with their wives and children, who showed him the privy doors, or the private doors, where they came in, and consumed such things that were upon the table. Therefore the king slew them and delivered Bel into Daniel's power, who destroyed him and his temple. He delivered Bel. How did you deliver him in his hand? How can your God be delivered within a human's hand, a mortal's hand? It can't eat, it can't move on its own, man. And y'all worship these things. And this is a king worship. In the same place there was a great dragon whose name of Babylon worship. The king said unto Daniel, thou also say that this is of brass. Lo, he eateth and drinketh. Thou canst not say that he is no living God. Therefore worship him. And said Daniel unto the king, I will worship the Lord, my God. He is the living God. Give me leave, O king, and I shall slay this dragon without sword and staff. The king said, I give thee leave. And Daniel took pitch and fat and hair and did seethe them together, which means to boil, and made lumps thereof. This he put in the dragon's mouth, and So the dragon burst asunder. And Daniel said, lo, these are the gods you worship. Yeah, these are the gods you worship, man. I just put some dynamite in his mouth, man. And that's what we're doing with Bel and your Merodach. Okay, they getting confounded. But meanwhile, the heathen are sacrificing their kids to these damn Baal and Baal and Moloch. Okay, these are the abominations to the Lord. But you think this is all false, it's fake. You don't see what's going on in the music industry. You look past all of that. You don't stop and reflect. Why are we getting killed at the alarming numbers that by the so-called white man, by the way? He's the one doing it. And no matter how many times we come out here and tell you, you still ain't gonna repent. So we don't cry now anymore because it's pointless. So this word's only for those who actually really have ears, who really gonna repent, man. This word's only for the elected Israel, it's not for everybody. Okay? So he's confounded, man. It says, it is not clear exactly how Curlin, a volunteer firefighter in Towns County, shared the photo of the scene. What do you mean it's not? He don't know how he did it, man. He shared the photo of the scene by giving it to his counterparts, man, so they can brag about it. Typically, when Esau does these things, he boasts in your blood. He's happy about it. He puts his head, he probably drinks some of it, probably ate some of his kidney, his brain. That's what he does, man. He's a profane people. He's the Edomites, man. They're wicked. They don't pray to Yahweh God, Yahshua. That's why they lack faith. You gotta have faith in the true God in order to have faith. If you have faith in a false God, then you don't have faith. Okay? It's very simple. It says, Barong said in a statement that the school district was made aware that a crime scene photo had been shared with some of our students on Monday. So how the hell did students get it in a high school? Okay? It's all part of his ritual, man. He wanted to make a mockery of it. It says, Barong said in a statement that the school district was made aware, the district launched an investigation and took appropriate measures to ensure the photo was no longer in the possession of any student. Students involved were unaware of the illegal nature of how the photo was distributed, he said. Autopsies were completed, but an official ruling on the cause of manner and death is pending addition forensic testing. What are they going to tell them? Clearly they got bullets in them, man. Okay? But they probably did something to them before they even did that. Then they put bullets in it to throw off the forensic investigation. But they run the whole society, so they're going to call it, they want, he owns the propaganda machines, man. He owns the autopsy doctors. This place ain't standing for righteousness. They'll pervert righteousness for Federal Reserve notes. Okay? False balance. That's what keeps this system operating in the way that it does. Where you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans get put to death. So all these false balances are in play. Now I can just print some money and get his dude some money and he'll shut up. Put a gun in his face and threaten his kids. Ain't gonna say anything. It's a bold thing that may be. It seems like everything's stacked up against you. There's no reason why you should be talking about these things. Okay? How is it rich, on a higher platform? Why do you think these basketball players or celebrities can't say anything about what's going on, the things that they say? Because it gives Bronner, the twins' aunt, said she is terrified to go online for fear of seeing the photo. Yeah, now the kids got it. Now the mother's grieving over her kid. She don't want to see that shit. She don't want to see her kids with bullets inside of their bodies like that. And it might randomly pop up. And she knows that type of information is out there. What kind of grieving is that, man? That's fucking up her grieving process. Because this place is wicked. Worst part is you dying without knowledge, dying with it. There's camps out there, you know. The Lord ain't dealing with everybody. It says it's scary. I'm literally scared to go on social media. I'm scared to pick up my phone because I know if I see that picture, I already know I have a heart attack. So this is their mother saying this. Mother lost 2 kids on the same day. It's one of the worst things that a woman can go through, man. It's the death of their kids. And what nation goes through that the most? Whose cries are being heard? Who's not receiving any justice? Why is it like that? Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. Read it. It says, Yasmin Bonner, another aunt, told the station, just imagine if their mother sees that. Like that would really destroy her. She's already going through a lot. Yeah, she is already going through a lot. And we all are as a whole nation. Ain't nobody saying anything about it. It says the twins' uncle, Robin Bronner, who has worked as a first responder for more than 10 years, said we know that's one of the #1 rules is not to take pictures and share them. The GBI assisting the town's county sheriff on officer. That's what they did, man. They know better, but they still do it anyways. Okay? They know better. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 11. I'll just stop at the top. It says the doomed flock. It says, open thy doors, O Lebanon, that the fire may devour thy cedars. How fir tree, for the cedar is fallen, because the mighty are spoiled. How oaks of Bashan, for the forest of the vintage is come down. There is a voice of the howling of the shepherds, for their glory is spoiled. Voice of the roaring of young lions. Pride of Jordan is spoiled. Thus saith the Lord my God, feed the flock of the slaughter. This is how we feed the flock of the slaughter, man. I try to give you the words in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Okay, the knowledge and wisdom to understand it. It says, who possess to slay them and hold themselves not guilty, just like they did with these 2 young men. Oh, it was a murder-suicide. They did it to themselves. That's holding themselves not guilty. And they that seldom say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Yeah, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, man. You know, going back into slavery and things like that. That's what they do. So no matter how old you are, the Lord will do it to you, man. Okay? You trying to occupy this place, man? Nah, man, you got to be seeking the Lord right now. This time that we're living in some evil times, man, under some evil people. The Edomites, the so-called white man's the damn Edomite. Okay. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2. I'll start at the top. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem, saying, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I remember thee the kindness of thy youth, the love of thy spouses, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown. Israel was holiness unto the Lord Yahweh, and the first fruits of his increase. All that devour him shall offend. All that devour him shall offend. Evil shall come upon him, saith the Lord Yahweh. Yeah, at a time, all that devoured us, something was going to happen to them, man. Like, they didn't get away with it. They didn't get away with it back then. When the power was working with us, nah, man. You come up against Israel, man, someone's going to pay for that. Let me read that again. Jeremiah 2:3 in the NLT. It says, in those days, Israel was holy to the Lord, the first of his children. All who harmed his people were declared guilty. Disaster fell on them. I, the Lord, have spoken. Yeah, at that time when the Lord was defending us. Okay? Us breaking these law, statutes, and commandments, and us refusing to come back and repent. Hey, we got more destruction to come. Okay, we got Jacob blow the trumpet, but ain't nobody listening. Jeremiah chapter 50. Verse 6, my people have been lost sheep. The shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. Exactly, man. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place, which is Israel. All that found them have devoured them. And their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. See, that's what your adversaries say. We offend not. We ain't doing anything. They did it to themselves. Coming up against the Lord. Pretty much, that's what you get, man. It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse number 11. It said, I'm going to read it. Then shall his mind change, and he shall pass over and offend, imputing this his power unto his God. Habakkuk 1 and 11. They sweep past like the wind and are gone, but they are deeply guilty, for their own strength is their God. Yeah, they're deeply guilty and their own strength is their God, which is the law. It's law of justice. That's their strength, that's their power. Let's look at the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. In verse 11, let our strength be the law of justice. So that's Esau's strength. It's the law. Okay? So they can put you to death and get away with it. Okay? And say they're not guilty. What's that? Joel 3. Revelation chapter 11. Verse 10. They that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. Okay, yeah, it's talking about us, man. Tormented them. You learn about this. Get away with it. Now they walk proud and they walk by better than you. You're gonna stay in the lot. You're gonna stay under the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. You're gonna glorify his name until he come back and restore you. Stay alive. Stay gifts one to another, and that's a gift. You take a picture of somebody, send it to your friends. Something like that. He was running. That's what they do. And that's how those pictures got into that high school and all over the internet. Because he wanted it to do that. He's still under investigation, but all his pictures are all over the internet. So who failed him? Who failed them? Esau did, man. From the fire department to the police department to the higher ups, all the way to the people you don't even know, the Edomites, Esau. He's in rulership. The Lord put him up that high so he can punish us. Okay? And those gifts really one to another was us, because during the transatlantic slave trade, we were being sent as gifts, as presents. Okay? You might chop your testicles off and send it, pass it down the line. They're probably still passing that shit around. Hey, this is a nigga's finger we had 300 years ago. You know, here's a couch with all Negro hair in it. Here's some Negro meat you can have. Collectible Negro. We still do that shit. People ain't changed. Look at the gods they worship. Look at the god of Moab. Dagon. They worship these idols, man, which come with human sacrifice, child sacrifice, all types of wicked abominations. It's the book of Deuteronomy. I want to jump into something serious about it. Let me get it. It's Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." Okay? So, "and the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt." Egypt is the house of bondage, according to Exodus 20 and 2. Again, with ships, okay? You don't have to take a ship to go from Egypt to Jerusalem, okay? Moses walked through the Red Sea, and they walked into the land of Canaan, and they defeated their enemies on foot. Okay? That little house of bondage is talking about America, transatlantic slave trade. Thou shalt see it no more again, talking about the land of Israel. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies. So he ain't calling your friends. You're going to be sold to your enemies. For bondmen and bondwomen, slaves, both male and female. And no man shall buy you. When you look at that word buy, means redeem you. Okay? No one's going to be able to get you out of this captivity except for Yahweh Shah. That's what we're crying out to. He's able to do this because we've sinned, right? 2 Samuel chapter 8. Verse 10, it says, "Then Toy sent Joram his son unto King David to salute him and to bless him, because he had fought against Hadadezer and smitten him. For Hadadezer had wars with Toy, and Joram brought with him vessels of silver, vessels of gold, and vessels of brass. which also King David did dedicate unto the Lord Yahweh with the silver and gold that he had dedicated of all nations which he subdued, of Syria and of Moab and of the children of Ammon and of the Philistines and of Amalek and of the swarm of Adonijah, the son of Rehob, king of Zobah. David got him a name. He returned from slaying of the Syrians in the valley of Salt, and 18,000 men. He put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all the complete garrisons, and all they of Edom became David's servants, and the Lord preserved David whithersoever he went. Okay, so there was a time the Lord was dealing with us. We had garrisons in Edom. Okay, he was servants to Israel. Because the prophecy had to be fulfilled in Genesis the 25th chapter, Genesis 25 and 27 and 40. Genesis 27 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And the yoke is symbolic of slavery, being a servant. He broke the yoke, and that's why he's ruling over us. But it had to be fulfilled. 2 Kings 8, verse 20. In the days of Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah and made a king over themselves. So that's the precept, man. When he officially broke off of it. Okay. Now you go back to when Yahweh Shah, when Herod was ruling. That's ruling over us, and that Edomite, those Herodians, those Idumeans are still ruling over us. But it's gonna come a time where he's gonna be destroyed. Why? Because the Lord Amos 9 and 11, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. In the days of old, we had all these heathen in subjection. Okay, garrisons in Edom. And it starts with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And the house of David is the elect of Israel. That's who's coming out, making their calling and election sure, being lively stones, building up the third temple. Okay, those lively stones. It's not dealing with temples made with hands. Acts. Acts chapter 7, verse 48. It says, howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Yeah, so he doesn't dwell in temples made with hands. Okay? But he does deal with the nation of Israel. Or the elect nation. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm going to grab something else. Second Kings. Verse 1. It says, the widow's oil. This is now their product of certain women, of the wives and the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, thy servant my husband is dead, and thou knowest that thy servant did fear the Lord, and the creditor is come to take unto him my two sons to be bondmen. Okay, so here there's this woman whose husband who died is crying out to Elisha because her husband owed money to a creditor, and that creditor was coming to take her two sons to pay off the father's debt. Okay. She didn't have any money. And Elisha said unto her, what shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, thine handmaid have not anything in the house save a pot of oil. Okay, so all she had was a pot of oil. Okay, she Then he said, go borrow 3 vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels. Borrow not a few. Yeah, get as many vessels as you can find. We're going to do something with the little bit of oil you got. We're going to do something with that. When thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. Exactly. So you and your sons gonna shut the door, man. With all these vessels, you're gonna put aside everything that's full. And it came to pass when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, bring me yet a vessel. And he had said unto her, there is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed. Then she came and told the man of God, and he said, go sell the oil and pay thy debt, and live thou and thy children of the rest. Told the man of God that what had happened was Elisha. He said to her, now sell the olive oil and pay your debts, and you and your sons can live on what is left over. Okay, and that's spiritual too, man. Because this oil also goes into the understanding of the scriptures, man. Go sell that oil, man. That's what we do. We sell oil out here, man. That's going to save you is this understanding, man. It's Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. Okay? And repenting. But if you keep transgressing the laws, it's going to get to a point where the law's going to cut you off. Not part of that level. You'll suffer consequences. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34. This is my sheep wandered through all mountains, on every high hill. Yea, my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth. None did search and seek after them, none did search and seek after them. Going to different religions, governments, salvation. Therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord, as I then said, surely because my flock became a prey, my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock. But the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock. Yeah, they feeding themselves. They got this wisdom. They're supposed to be feeding the flock, but they feeding themselves off the verse 9, Ezekiel 34:9. Therefore, O ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh. Cause them to cease from feeding the flock. He's already starting to do that, man. He's gonna really cause you to cease from feeding the flock, putting you to death. Neither shall the shepherds feed themselves every day. Subscribe, hit my cash app. Mixtapes and t-shirts, fringes on. For I will deliver my flock from their mouth, that they may not be meat for them. Exactly, man. He gonna deliver them out of your by when these judgments start going up. Right? But this is going to happen to Esau. Everything he's done to the nation of Israel is going to happen to because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and slaughtered so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's the perpetual hatred. It's never changed. These things that are happening is because the devil is never going to change. It's a perpetual hatred. It has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. And the force of the sword, the part of their sword is the gun. Ancient time, continuous existence. Okay. Yeah, that perpetual hatred. Desolations in our cities shall not return. Ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Okay, so that's what's going on. The strangers, us, man, we're strange to the shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh for servants and handmaids. So you're going to go into slavery. You're going to be a servant and a handmaid, bondman and bondwoman. We might even reenact the transatlantic slave trade. They shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Okay, so ruling over their oppressors is what we expect to happen. That's what we expect. That's why we do this work. Okay? Let's go. Psalms 149. It's up top. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh. Sing unto the Lord a new song. And his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, and bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all the saints and princes of the Lord, and to bind their kings with chains. You're going to have fetters of iron. You're going to be put in chains and handcuffs and locked up, placed in a pit. You're going to be serving Yasharala, drinks. You're going to be a slave for 1,000 years. Then you're going to be destroyed. We're going to have a two-edged sword in our hand. That's in the kingdom. Isaiah 14:3, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, Esau, Edom. He's the modern day king of Babylon. And say, how have the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Into the Twin Towers anymore. Now they want to cut off the Gulf of Hormuz and really hurt you this time. They got wiser. They got smarter. You know, it's more modern. Now they got drones. They know how to fight like you now. They fight on your level. It's terrible, man. The scriptures call them the terrible nations. Isaiah 14:6. Smote the people in wrath with the continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger and is persecuted, and none hindereth. Exactly, man. Smoke with a continual stroke. You just kept attacking and beating the living crap out of Israel, man. Okay? And that's what we still see to this day. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah, when you get taken out of power, the whole earth is going to break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Even the trees are going to rejoice when Esau is gone. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. He stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we, but thou become like unto us. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, in the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Exactly, man. So that's the form of decomposition. The worms are going. That's what's happening to this place, man. The worms are covering you, man. This place is falling. It's being devoured. It's being destroyed. Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Yeah, how you cut down to the ground that didst weaken the nations, Esau. You Lucifer, the illuminated one, the Illuminati chief, top guys over here. They're gonna rule for so long, but those are the nobles that are gonna be in chains, man. Those are the ones that are gonna make it to the bunkers, and then we're gonna come get them. Spirit of power, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. I'm gonna end it right there. Those who know that was edifying, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, B'chach Kodash, Shalom.